Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everyone. So holidays are upon us. In just a few weeks, you'll probably see this phrase come up on greeting cards, if you still receive and send them. Just messages everywhere. This is the phrase, peace on earth. It's everything. And we're going to prove it today. Why, if you want direction in your life, you can't have any of that. A lot of that, and a lot of things that you want aren't going to happen unless you have peace. What is this thing we call peace? We're going to delve deep into that today with a gentleman who helps people all the time with life coaching, empowerment, understanding what's going on in their lives, why maybe some things are missing, including peace. And he's an amazing psychologist. Dr. John Carney, PhD, joins us again on the program. Welcome back. How you doing?
Steve, how are you?
Very well, very well. And I'm going to, be very honest and tell you that the whole peace thing, I used to hear that come up all the time. I don't know if I've ever said this, but, I'd be in church and people say, peace be with you, peace be with you. And I'm like, oh, and with you, and with you. I just said it. I didn't really know what it meant. What is this? The only thing I remember is being a kid. Peace, the peace sign, hey. Until you realize that that's what's missing in your life. And then once you attain it or start to, then you realize how other things fall into place. That's my description. I don't know how accurate that is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
So very true. And, I don't know how many out there watch The Chosen, but anyway, so whenever they approach or move away from folks, say goodbye, they say shalom, shalom. And it's peace, a deeper level of abiding peace. Another thing about that is if a person is looking for direction in life, one of the very best, probably the best way to find real direction, discernment, deeper level wisdom, discernment for all the different decisions we need to make in life. And, you take into account a lot of different factors, but when you boil it all down, it's like, where do you feel the most peace on the matter, on relationship, on the agenda, on the topic, on the why in the road? Where do you feel the most peace? So, Steve, why in the world what's the big deal with this peace thing? And how do we arrive at it?
So, I feel it's a moving target too, because, and I can only speak for myself, but I think everybody has a story and it inspires others when you share it. Only recently, it's going to sound ridiculous, but I'm going to share it. I found peace just laying in bed. And I would hear from friends, it could be a Sunday, Saturday morning, and I'm in bed. It's 10:30, doing nothing. I'm like, how can you be that? You're wasting the day. You could be doing so many different things. Until I realized that doing nothing is doing something. And a lot of times I'm just chilling and reflecting. And I actually look forward to laying in my bed and thinking, call it meditating. Whoa. Yeah. For me, it's peace. And everybody has their own.
It's and that's right. Everybody, it's different to everybody, but it's everything. Now, here's the deal. So how do we find real peace? Well, it's threefold in my opinion. We've got to become ultimately more deeply connected inside, not superficially, not with the logic so much. Okay, fine, whatever, that's transitionary. But how do we become more deeply connected with our deeper emotional self, with everything that we are on our deeper self, spiritual self, whatever it is? And then how can we connect more deeply? We've talked about this in previous shows, but how can we connect more genuinely, authentically, really, simply with peace with others in that external connection? So it's internally becoming more deeply connected inside. And that, by the way, is through deeper inner healing, becoming accountability relationships with safe, healthy, progressive people. And then externally with safe people, how do we connect and what are we doing with those relationships? But like you said, laying in bed, well, that's exactly right. Where can we find real rest? Where can we slow down from the fast pace? Sometimes people-pleasing, sometimes performance-oriented, sometimes overcompensating, drivenness, and find deeper level rest in all the noise.
It's so true. And also disseminating what's important and what's not. Because a lot of times we give our time and our energy to others. Does it really support you? And I'm not talking about, being self-serving here, but we're being pulled from so many directions. Sometimes we need to say, all right, I don't need to do that anymore. I guess boundaries. I don't need to do that anymore. I need to do this more because I need peace. I need peace. And sometimes you need to put those blocks or those bumpers up, right?
That's right. And even as you said that, it's like some people, especially guys, it's like, what do you mean peace? I just need to accomplish. I need to be productive.
Yeah.
What in the world do you mean? I just need peace. Oh, get real. What a wimp. No, not at all. I mean, not at all. If you're getting real and you're at your higher level of life level, frequency level, whatever, what is your highest level and deepest level of the real you, the most authentic kind of nirvana level you, is at your highest level of real peace, where it's like it becomes a bubble, where it's very protect. You mentioned boundary, where that peace is actually a protective layer as well, and it's all through this connectedness thing.
Wow, I never thought of it that way, John. That peace is almost like part of your shield.
That's right. And don't we do a lot of things as a shield? Don't we do a lot of things to protect ourselves, quote unquote, guard our heart, whatever, distance ourselves from whoever, whatever, however. We do a lot of things to guard our heart, protect whether it's our ego, our pride, or our deeper organic self. And I'm telling you, that peace, as we are more deeply connected, is the most powerful, pure, and truly productive way to strengthen, protect, empower, and enlarge by going deeper.
How do you go deeper?
Well, man, isn't that a good question? Now, you could tell me a lot of stuff on this. There's so many different ways, right? But we started talking about it here. It's like, take the time. You must recognize that you're not all that in a bag of chips with your overcompensational driven, productive, hyper steamed up self. No, the real you is the more focused, connected, serene, and trusting, safe self. And how we go there is getting real with ourselves. To be honest, taking our healing, no matter what that looks like, no matter what it's about, more serious. And actually, oopsie, not just talk about it, but do something about it, right? I mean, we owe that to ourselves to go after it through life coaching, through counseling, through deeper level psychotherapy, not just fruit picking a watermelon conversation or Band-Aid therapy, but getting deeper and reading books that are really targeting things. So what does a person deal with? Anxiety, maybe hyper-drivenness, depression, oppression, codependency. What different things in life tear at us, pull us away from the real focus. And so we got to go after those things and actually find ways and to deal with that internally and externally.
Do you feel, with your experience in working with people, that most of us are much deeper than we give ourselves credit for, than we show to others, than we even realize within ourselves? And once you start this journey, whoa, you start, wow, I didn't realize I had that in me.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Some of the most hyper-productive oriented, performance-oriented folks that I've dealt with as an executive life coach in Fortune 100 companies, I was paid as the highest level, executive level coach to do what? Well, to help these pretty well paid, higher level execs to become more productive in certain efficient kind of ways. And the way I did that, which worked out quite well 90% of the time, was I'd get behind that closed door in that private office where those tough folks wouldn't mind shedding a tear. And they got real and they slowed down and they dared to trust a safe person as they got honest with themselves, and they became so much more efficient in every single thing that they put their hands to.
Hmm.
And that's just one arena, family, people, every single hobby that you're going after, to fine tune it and take it to the next level. Relationships and even productivity comes through becoming much more deeply connected inside.
What's the first
What's
step
the first step
for someone to
for
figure
someone?
this stuff all out, where they're just, you know, maybe you're feeling like you're searching? And, I want to share something with you. So there's a song that came out, and you can probably know it because we're up there in age, let's be honest. Um, Came out in 1973 by the band Chicago, was a top 5 song. It's called I've Been Searching So Long. And when I was younger, I always thought the song was about searching for a relationship, searching for love. And it came on the other day, and I started listening. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was wrong all these years. The song is about searching for that answer. Really, what is life? I've been searching so long. The song ends with, good things in life take a long time. And it kind of rocks out at the end. And that was like an epiphany for me. It's like, yeah, we're all still searching. I never knew. I always thought it was a love song. But when you look at the lyrics, I've been searching so long, Chicago. It's what I believe we're talking about and what we're all trying to do in life, searching for an answer. What is the answer? So what is the starting point when somebody things don't feel aligned in life and they know they need to do something? How do they start that search?
Number one, they need to be honest with themselves. Take time to be honest with yourself,
Mm.
and momentarily reflect, not just in a quick passing, but take the time to be honest. What am I feeling? I call it a trip in. It's a 3 or 4 step process. Number one, what am I feeling in the here and now, right now? And be honest with it and state it out loud, maybe write it down.
Oh, yeah.
And then number two, we always have thoughts. It could be moving so quickly we don't recognize it or register it, but the thought, there's always thoughts behind feelings, organic thoughts, good beliefs, false beliefs, whatever. And try to find out, I wonder why, what am I thinking that causes that feeling?
Mm.
And then once we look at those thoughts, it's like, well, I wonder, upon deeper reflection, why are those tapes going around back there? Where are they coming from?
Mm.
And then with a trusted, safe person, maybe be honest outwardly, externalizing that stuff and going deeper, owning it, quote unquote, and seeing where that takes you.
Writing it down is so key. And I want to ask you, I started journaling. Okay. I feel like we're in session right now. I started journaling. I want to say,
Session is good, Steve.
just give me your Venmo. I'll hit you up. I started journaling about a month and a half ago. And I guess maybe I was afraid to do it. I kept pushing it off, and I tell everybody, you need to journal. No, I keep a gratitude journal, but I'm talking about, I write the date, the time, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And in the beginning, I would write a lot. And I found myself progressively writing less, but I don't know why. It's like I sit there with my pen and, I put some thoughts down, but I have nothing more to write. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What do you think?
That can vary. At times, I think you're going to find you might have more to write because there's more that's you're discovering in that moment or around that theme or with that issue, or because I was more deeply impacted or triggered. We can do a whole deal on just being triggered.
For sure.
But it's like, and so yeah, that can have more to it. Or to look at a very simple partial truncated or one-liner, and we look at that, and it is huge in its simplicity. It is just huge.
You said something, and this was my turning point in this my journey, living in the moment. I might have shared with you that was the wake up 4 years ago. Somebody said to me, "Why don't you ever live in the moment?" Had no idea what they were talking about, but you just said something about even writing those thoughts down. And I'm going to do it later today. Here's how I'm feeling right now. Instead of a dump into your journal. This person did this, and I felt this, and that happened, and this happened, and blah, blah. This is what I'm feeling right now. And for me, thank you for saying that, because it just brought me back to center, where that's what's important. What are you feeling at this moment? Instead of thinking about the things around you, or, whatever could happen or what did happen. I'm going to need a new journal now. Probably take 4 pages to write today.
There is a clinical term for that exact thing. It's called immediacy.
Wow.
So when we talk about the who and there and then and over there and what about that, it's more content oriented agenda focus.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks will be like solution, got to fix things, especially guys.
Especially guys.
Fix things.
Yeah.
And so, but immediacy is like not over there and then, but it's me and you or me and in the here and now, period, deeply, genuinely, authentically, honestly. And there are so many different levels on the subconscious for us to get in tune with. We could spend our lifetime just being in a logic realm, more heady, with an agenda, project oriented, whatever, versus understanding the real stuff that's more heart based, more authentic, more real me in my gut, my spirit, man.
In the time we have left for this moment right here, I want to go back for you. When was the moment you felt you found peace? First moment, the first true moment.
That's a huge, perfect question for everybody. And I mean, there's different levels, right? Now, this is just my story. It's different for everybody, but this is my story. And when I was 12 years old, May 24th, 1972, we were just watching somebody on TV, and it was a powerful teaching thing. And my mom asked me, because I was crying my eyes out, and she said if I wanted to pray, and I did. And I discovered Jesus for me. And so I realized that, we all have a spirit. We're a trichotomous nature being. So we have a spirit, soul, and body, mind, will, and emotions, past, present, and future, 3 threes. And so, but the deepest core is the yellow of the egg. And for me, until we have something to fill it up, we're kind of empty and searching. And so for me, when I found him, I'm telling you, it was Explosion City, and I have never forgotten it. I'm in my mid-60s, and I have never forgotten it one single day as long as I've lived, not because of some religious ought to, have to, should. It was because for me, it blew me away and has never stopped with that power, because I was connected deeply to something bigger, someone bigger, much, much more powerful than I was, that was pure love.
As a 12-year-old, did you understand what was happening and that feeling at that moment? And obviously your family practiced religion, and faith was very important, it sounds like, in your family life. Were they encouraging you for this, part of your journey, or it just kind of organically fell in your lap?
It organically happened. My dad never did till his deathbed. Many, many years later, he didn't know anything about it. It wasn't what we practiced openly.
Okay.
My mom took me there more so she was connected deeply in that way.
Wow.
But it was never spoken about too much. It was never, but it was likely. And again, it wasn't ought to, have to, should at all. But it was incredibly, this is real, and when you're ready, it's available, and it's something you might want to check out. And so, because it was safe and not pushed on me, but I came to a place where I owned it. I found it. I discovered it, and it was not plastic. It was not, but it was the most genuine, powerful thing I've ever known in my entire life, and have never stopped. What can we say? Realizing it's my source of deeper level connectedness.
Wow. Well, I guess it goes back to spirituality. Now, your spirituality is connected to religion, God. Doesn't mean it has to be, but I believe spirituality is something bigger than you. We need to have something bigger than us to believe in, have faith in. And it could be the universe. It could be whatever you want it to be. But without that, it's almost as if you don't have hope.
A good point. And I'm not so keen on religion per se as I am a person and a relationship, because each one of us, we have a need to be connected inside and outside. And if we can find that kind of a level of a source that is a relationship thing, not a performance oriented thing, that is transcendent, I think it's what we're truly created for.
Personally, I'm still trying to figure that out. And even the other night, said I think in bed before I go to bed. I'm going into it, just thinking about things. They say that spirits are around you, your spirit guides, Archangel Michael, and, whoever you want to believe in. And I actually called upon with my eyes closed. I'm like, if you're there, present yourself. Fell asleep, so didn't get that answer. But, I've done it before, but still kind of searching. But I do remember going through a tumultuous time about 3 years ago. A lot of life-changing things, a lot of heavy stuff. And that moment I walked out to my car from this building, and I looked up at the sun. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Wow, I feel okay. Like, I could do pretty much anything. And I call it my quiet calm. And that's how I describe peace. Not that I was anxious prior, but I would worry about things, that I didn't need to worry about. And then it got to me a point, where that thing called peace came in, where you feel that resilience. You feel that, there's something, we're good. It's going to be okay. Is it always there? And I think you'll admit, no. I mean, this is called life. There's always going to be the ups and downs, but you always know, no matter what your belief is, in that peace, you got that center, that foundation to come back to.
That's right. That's where your hope is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you don't have hope, you don't have anything.
That's true. And the people that I deal with in session every week, they're looking for real hope. They're looking to be able to get out of hopelessness and helplessness.
Yeah. Like the song says, I've been searching so long. It's like, it took me that long to find that answer and understand what a good song meant.
Chicago's awesome, brother.
I saw him 2 years ago. I have a venue literally next to my house, and they came there, and they still got it. They still got it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And once you look at the lyrics of songs, you start to see certain things that you didn't see before. But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe
that's right.
How does that go when the student is ready? The teacher shows up. So
there you go. That's right.
How does somebody connect with you?
Actually, they can order my book. Go to Amazon and get my book. It's called "Heal Your Soul: Permanently" by John W. Carney, PhD. But my website is www.johncarneycoaching.com. John Carney, Carney, coaching.com, or they can email me, johnwc3663@gmail.com.
Fabulous talking with you, John. I truly appreciate how you blend a clinical side with research and some data with the personal coaching side, and you make it relatable. It's not too, deep for the room. It's very easy to understand, but it's backed with science as well. Really wonderful the way you do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. We'll be right back. Ready to unlock your full potential? John Carney, owner of Life Coaching and Empowerment, LLC, offers personalized coaching to help you break through barriers and create lasting change. Take the first step toward transformation today. Call 218-608-5900 or visit johncarneycoaching.com or humblecoaching.com.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And and another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.